it's the right time for Right Time Radio. This is Lynn Donovan, and I'm in the studio with Tay. And Sue has got some other stuff she needed to get done today, and that was more important than me for some reason. I don't understand that.
Yeah, we can't have that.
I thought it was all about me, Tay. I don't get that.
No, it's all about me.
Oh,
let's get this,
that's what I had wrong.
But I'm the guest. I thought it was about me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, we do have a guest in our studio today. Today we've got a returning friend, actually, who's back in the studio. Her name is Jennifer Bowers, and you have a new role at the Rialto. Tell us a little bit about how that's kind of come about.
Oh, that has been a whirlwind. So I was asked to be president, actually. The board members that came with the changeover.
Right.
Had asked if I would like to stay on in that role. So I said, I'll give it a try.
Yeah.
So I said, let me try this first year. Let's see how it goes. So it's been going well so far.
Well, good. Well, knowing your background with the school system and being the director of drama, and you have some qualifications for the position. So
yeah, no, I have a theater background, which is really good. But that building itself has become such an integral part of all of our lives. So I think that was more of the pull. The board's role is to ensure that the building is there and standing and available for the community.
Right.
But the theatrical side is a little bonus. It's a little plus.
Yeah.
We have the facilities and the ability to have performances. And so we're really looking for local productions too.
Right.
We're open to not just theatrical. We're looking for a plethora.
Yeah.
We really want to have that eclectic feel for the communities.
Yeah. And if you haven't been in the Rialto lately, you should just go by. Just look in the windows.
Yes.
Because they have done so much work, haven't they, Tay? And
they have, yeah.
Yeah, have really brought it up to some amazing standards, but yet bringing it to where it looks like it did back in the glory days of the 20s and 30s.
We have a long way to go, but man, are we on the right path.
Yeah.
That's the key.
Yeah, it's looking really good over there.
And that's thanks to the community. I really want to put that out there.
Yeah.
We would not still be here if it was not for the time and the effort and the money and the donations from the community.
Right, exactly.
That is our bread and butter. So we thank everyone and keep it going. We're almost there.
I agree 100%. And if you'd like an excuse to go to the Rialto, they can do that this weekend. Tell us what's going on.
Yes, we have an opening weekend. So we had 2 fantastic shows in June, and I really feel it was a fantastic, light-hearted opening to the theater. We had our Fremont County Has Talent.
Yes, that
big
was
success
so
on
good.
June 5th.
And had a great MC for that,
yes,
too.
we did. I know, he looks so familiar.
He really did.
He looks kind of that questionable character guy. But
I don't know, he kind of looks like the guy 2 feet from me right now.
Kind of, yes.
No, Tay did great. Tay was our MC. It was fantastic.
Tay was amazing.
And great talent from our community.
Amazing talent.
It was directed by Sue. So
Sue Haas, my co-host. Exactly. And it was jaw-dropping. It was just great. So good.
And we hope to see more talent and making this an annual thing.
Right.
So next year, keep your eye out for the summer's talent show. So
exactly.
We want more variety.
Contact us at righttimeradio@gmail.com, and I'll put you in touch with the people that can at least interview you and see if you're got what it takes, which
Absolutely. And a really good idea is to sign up on www.historicrialtotheater.org. Sign up for our email, because then you get to know everything that's happening before we even post it.
Right.
So we have that, and then we have the melodrama. In June, Kathy Herron's melodrama, which is Love Feeds the Hungry Soul, or Belly Up to the Salad Bar.
Yes,
fantastic
so
2 nights of that.
Yes.
So we opened with comedy. We really wanted to get that out there and really welcome the community back. It was great. But now...
And you like sold out, didn't you?
I
mean, it was an amazing turnout. We're
not
also
quite sold out, but really close. Like, we want that sold out status. Get us that.
Yeah.
You know, the community needs to get us to that sold out status.
But all right. So what's going on this weekend?
I know. Now I'm going to toot my own horn and plug my own show here.
Exactly.
So July 9th is our opening night for Our Town. It's by Thornton Wilder, was written in 1938, set in a New Hampshire town, Grover's Corner. So great show. It's definitely a dive back into the dramatic. The show has 3 acts.
Awesome.
It's going to be a bit longer than normal, but not too long. It's it's good. There will be 2 intermissions, so lots of rest. But be prepared to laugh, cry, feel every gamut of emotion.
Yeah.
I could not be happier with my co-director, Bethany LaLoche, or this cast and this crew. My heart goes out to every single one of them. It has been such a moving and deep and wonderful experience with everyone. So the show has touched every single member of the cast in some way.
That is so awesome. And the play is set in like 1901, I believe I read.
1901 to 1913, through the lives of this small little town in New Hampshire. And it's called Grover's Corners. And it follows the life of the people there. And you meet every aspect, from the milkman to the paper boy to the newspaper writer to the doctor of the town to our two young souls who find each other in this and fall in love.
Nice.
And it follows the gamut of their life and their trials and tribulations and things that we can all relate to even in 2021.
Awesome.
That's what's so beautiful about this show is I don't care that it was written in the 1920s and 30s. They have their hardships.
Yeah.
But it relates to everything I think we've dealt, especially this past year.
Interesting. That is so much fun. Now, let's go ahead and spill the beans. If we're, well, when we go, not if, when we go. Tickets, how much are they?
Yes. So tickets are $10 for children and seniors. So we'll clarify that. There's been a lot of questions about that.
Right.
So children is anyone 6 years of age to 17.
Okay.
Adult is 18 to 64.
Okay.
And senior is 65 and older.
Okay.
If you show your military ID, we will also give you a military discount.
Nice.
So $10 for adults, like I said, $12 for children and seniors. You can get your tickets at Big D's in Florence, City Market in Canyon City, and then online at our website, www.historicrialtotheater.org. Make sure it's an org. You won't find us.
I'll post that on the Right Time Radio Facebook page, too.
Absolutely. And we'll also have tickets at the door each night. So you can get those right there at the door, too.
Yeah, that's great. Well, listen, let's take a commercial break, and we'll come back and we'll talk some more about our town.
Fantastic.
Yeah. We are back with Right Time Radio, and we are visiting with Jennifer Bowers, who is the new president of the Rialto Theater. But we're also talking about the play that y'all are going to be doing this weekend and some other things that maybe kind of behind the scene cool stuff that has happened. For example, we had the Rialto Players, and then we had a theater group here in Canyon City known as Fremont Civic Theater.
Yes.
Tell us what's happened between the Rialto and the FCT.
So this all goes back probably years. I know that we've had people in the community on both boards. We've had people who involved in both areas. But for me, it goes back to when I first moved up here into Canyon City. It was the first weekend my husband and I drove through town, and I saw auditions for Shrek the Musical.
Right.
With Fremont Civic Theater. So that's how I got involved in all this.
You were the dragon,
I was the dragon. That's how I'm pretty much known to some of my students
Some
still.
of the students,
yeah, they still go, were you dragon a couple years ago? I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to live that one down. It was a great show, though. It was fantastic. And that got my bug here for the theater in the community.
Okay.
So I met so many great people over in Fremont Civic Theater. And so years went by, I worked with them for a couple shows, and I started to work with the Rialto for a couple shows. And I was in, their first show down there was Savannah Sipping Society. I played Rhonda. That was so much fun down there. So it just progressed from there. When I became president of the board, we were just coming out of the pandemic.
Right.
It was a rough year for everybody involved down at that theater, and we didn't know what we were going to do.
Right.
We had no money left, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Guys, remember, we're a 501c3. We rely on the community, and everybody was hurting. We did not expect anything from the community during that. It was hard.
Yeah.
It was a rough year. So we came out of it. We came out with a new board, and we came out with new ideas. And I said, you know what? We have a theater. We have wonderful acoustics.
Right.
It's a great auditorium. We can get this up and running. But we have so many production companies here in our community that we need to be reaching out to them and saying, hey, we got a theater. You've got a company. Let's do this.
Yeah, let's get together.
Yeah. So I went to the board of Fremont Civic Theater with an idea, and I didn't expect anything because I didn't know how they were doing, post-pandemic. So I talked with...
I think they were suffering too.
I think everybody was, not only just financially, but that creative freedom.
Yeah.
Everybody was looking for that outlet. So I went to Mandy Brown, who's their president of the board, and Nancy Fenyas, who is, I believe, their vice president of the board.
Right.
And the board was there. It was great having having a chat with them. I got to meet some people I didn't know, meet people I did know that I haven't seen for years.
Yeah.
And we just chatted. And it was really just an open invitation of, I have this idea. It's simple set, simple costumes and props, something that can easily be done, but will have such an impact on our community.
Exactly.
And I want to work with you. So they discussed it, and they were very much on board. They're like, you know what, let's do this. And so we worked together to produce. So Fremont Civic Theater is producing. They're taking care of everything we need legally to ensure that the show can be done in our community.
Right.
They're providing volunteers and help with different things that we're doing.
Yeah.
On the flip side, we're providing the theater.
Yeah.
So that's how we're going to work together on this. Is we've got companies and we've got a stage, and we're just going to go forward from here and see how great we all can do.
Awesome. And I know it's going to be phenomenal. I know some of your cast, so go ahead and talk about
Oh my gosh.
a little bit of that.
It was not
Is there any such thing as a little bit of that?
a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I'm going to gush because theater people are dramatic. I'm going to be open and honest.
We all know that.
If you have a theater person in your life, they're probably the most dramatic person in your life as well for little things.
Yes.
That's just how we're built. Sorry.
My hair won't go right.
Yeah, no, little things.
Yeah.
So I, going forward, I was like, I know that we're going to deal with things with a cast. I have not had to deal with one thing.
How awesome.
With this cast, this is like a little family.
Yeah, knock on wood. It's all knock on wood,
Trying to help you out there.
It has been such a wonderful experience.
That is fantastic.
Each person, I don't even know how to describe it. Some of the people didn't even audition.
Right.
I will be honest, it was one of those moments in our community's, history of theater that it's hard to get people to come out and audition. And it's a pretty large size cast. We have 16 people.
Oh, wow. That is a large cast.
It is a large cast considering most of our shows have been recently under 10.
Right.
So getting people, especially boys and men, it's been hard. It's been difficult.
Yeah.
And so I had to reach out specifically to people. People I knew reached out to people.
Right.
So this cast came together within auditions and knowledge of people's talent and just knowing, I need that person.
Yeah.
And asking, hey, kiddo, I know you dance and you don't act, but how'd you like to be in a show? That's our lead, George.
Yeah.
He's Trevani Guerrera, and he's one of our best dancers here in town at our studios.
Yeah.
And we asked him, and his mom says he wants to get into it. I'm like, I got the perfect role for him. He's our lead. And let me tell you,
That's wonderful.
that kid's a rock star.
Yeah.
I have seen him blossom into an actor. He's phenomenal. His years of dance really help with that. But, we've got Trevani as George. Emma Schmidt, she's very popular around town. Everybody
We've had
knows
Emma
her.
on this show, and she was one of your students at Harrison.
Yes, she has played many roles for me. She was my Annie. She was my Mad Hatter.
Yeah.
She's my Esmeralda when we did Frank the Fearsome Pirate Frank. She's been Dorothy in Wizard of Oz for Fremont Civic Theater. She's been around.
She has.
She's been great. And she is my Emily. She's my lead female.
Emily. Okay.
So she and George, Emily and George, these two characters, they find each other in this town. And each person that was cast, I have to say, when you see the show, is just perfect.
Oh, that's
There's
wonderful.
this harmony with everything they're doing, how they're speaking, their characterization, their facial expressions. If you watch the characters, that's how we're going to tell the story. It's not just in our words, but really look at the characters.
Yeah.
There is going to be so much in their body language and their face that's going to express, and I think everyone's going to have that great connection. So
That is amazing.
it's
Says
just
the
an
drama
amazing
teacher,
cast.
right?
Yes, that's the drama teacher. Sorry, I get very eloquent. And so,
No, that's wonderful,
Yes.
Jennifer. What a great outcome from a pandemic that nearly shut everything down,
I have to say, it's one of those, it was rough, but that's the show. There's joy and there's the sorrow. It balances each other out.
Yeah.
So I do recommend be ready to laugh, but also bring your tissues. I apologize in advance, but I think everyone will touch on that is you can't have the joy and its great ups without knowing what the downs are.
I always say that I judge a movie or a show or whatever by all the emotions. So if it touches all the emotions, to me, that's what gives it the high marks.
Yes.
So it sounds like that's what you've got.
We do. It does. I will give a trigger warning. Act 3 has some very deep themes of tragedy.
Okay.
We do want to point out, and this is something near and dear to my heart, that if you do, or anyone you know or love has thoughts of suicide or self-harm, reach out to someone, reach out to the organizations that are available to you, reach out to your family. Like I said, this has some deep, deep feelings of tragedy. Nothing is depicted, but it is discussed.
Sure.
So we want to have that as a trigger.
So if you're sensitive to that,
you're very sensitive. Just be forewarned.
Yeah.
It's told beautifully. I don't want to scare people by saying it's in your face.
No, yeah.
But it may have a trigger. And I know that there are themes that trigger the whole cast. We have many of our cast that can't get through Act 3 with their lines without crying right now. So we are trying to get through at least our last rehearsal without tears. But it's been difficult. But it's been such a beautiful story to tell.
Yeah.
So.
You know, they tell me as an author, if you don't cry through your scene, then your readers aren't going to cry either.
Right, you
so
have
it's
to feel
the same.
it. The audience needs to feel a part of it. That's the whole experience of live
And it sounds
theater.
like you're really drawing the audience in.
I'm trying. This is my first hand of directing at the Rialto. Before this, I have only directed children.
Yeah.
Some of the adults
And participated as an actor.
Just acting and directing children.
It's a little different.
Some of the actors did tell me I go into teacher voice sometimes.
Yeah, I can see that actually.
I do. I switched to teacher mode.
Yeah. Well, that's what works.
It does for right now.
For you.
It does for right now.
All right, we're going to take another commercial break, and we're going to be back to talk about more that's going on in our community after this. We are back with Right Time Radio, and we want to take a second to thank Ray Linebaugh for sponsoring the show, Harvest Connections. I always pause at that one. I don't know why. Anyway, Harvest Connections is who is actually sponsoring us, but that's through Ray Linebaugh, and we really appreciate you, Ray, for doing that because it lets us be on the air.
Yeah, I ran into him the other
thing.
day over at the theater, actually.
Yeah. He loves the theater. I mean, it is.
Yeah, I still have his clothing rack. I have to get that back to him.
By the way, if you're listening, Ray,
We're taking good care of it.
She knows she needs to return it, and it'll happen someday.
No, he's great. He loaned it to us for the show, and it's been wonderful.
All right. So. Well, listen, the Rialto, as you say, here's this theater, here's this beautiful venue.
Yes.
Y'all have got a lot going on. Yeah. So let's talk about what else is going on, what's coming down the...
Well, I want to plug Fremont Civic Theater here for a little bit because they are our partner in this, and it's because of them that we're able to go forward with our shows in this great season. We've got some things coming from them, hopefully this season. They're still in works of a few rights, getting production things done.
Yeah.
I know that they recently just had auditions for Kitchen Witches.
Oh,
I think they're still trying to find a role or two. So if you're interested, I highly recommend contacting Fremont Civic Theater. It's Fremont Civic Theater, and theater is R-E, not E-R. So theater, R-E, .org. If you go on, sign up for their, their email blast, contact their website or their email and find out. I think they are still looking for a male in his 20s to fill a role for Kitchen Witches. I believe that's what was last discussed.
Right. And you don't have to be in your 20s. You just need to kind of look like you're in your 20s. Yeah. So you could be 40 or...
So I could do that?
Yeah,
you could do it, Tay.
You need to go audition.
We'll need a little makeup, but
Oh, if I need a lot of makeup.
Totally got this.
We're looking at spackling or something.
And I know they've got a lot of other things on their website that they're in works for, so I highly recommend just checking them out. Keep tabs on what they're doing. Like I said, post-pandemic, a lot of us are we're not too keen on sending everything we're doing out, just because we don't know if things are going to change.
Right.
So we are slowly rolling things out. Always check our websites. I know that the theater ourselves, we have some things coming up, I know that are confirmed as of today.
Oh, good.
One of those things is Junketique.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, so I guess they do it every year. I've only been involved in 2. So this is new to me because I'm new to town. relatively.
Kind of, yeah.
If it's 5 years, I should know what these things are by now. But it's great. Florence Main Street just opens up to the vendors, and it's a great outdoor shopping, but looky-loo kind of bazaar.
Right. They fill the streets,
flea
too,
market.
don't they?
Yeah, it's great. They fill the streets. But we offer indoor space at the Rialto.
Nice.
So vendors, if you're listening, please contact the Rialto at rialtotheaterinfo@gmail.com.
Okay.
And you can actually get a table inside the theater, air conditioned, concessions available. We'll have security.
Restrooms.
And your stuff is locked up then overnight.
Nice.
So we lock the
Okay.
theater, and we have board members that stay the whole time to ensure that your stuff is safe.
Wow.
So, and our theater will be open October 2nd and 3rd for the vendors, for Juntique.
October. Okay.
October 2nd and 3rd. Yep. And you can also contact the Florence Chamber, and they can get you a table at the Rialto as well.
Nice. Oh,
Yes.
that makes it easy.
Yep. And they have all the
right.
fees and everything. I just don't want to give wrong information.
Yeah, yeah. We
They
don't
are
wanna do
handling that. I should know more about it, but I can't know everything.
All right. So this weekend, this Friday, we have got Our Town, which,
Yes.
you know, us being a small town and Florence being an even smaller town, I think we would really relate to this.
Very much
so. Yes.
Very much. It's funny, like I said, every actor has at least one character or scene or theme that they're like, oh, that right there.
That's hard.
That's what's
Yeah,
getting me. There is
that's
something that
good.
touches them deeply. So
Awesome.
with those odds at a 16 out of 16, I'm betting every audience member is going to find one scene, one character,
Wow.
one theme that's going to just touch home.
Gosh, I can't wait. All right. So if you can't make it Friday, what other dates are available?
So we open July 9th, Friday, 7 p.m. is the showtime.
Okay.
Doors open at 6:30.
All right.
And that's going to be the same time for Saturday, July 10th, 7 o'clock showtime. Then we have a matinee on Sunday, July 11th.
11th, yeah.
Nope, 9th, 10th, 11th.
Yep.
And that Sunday matinee on the 11th starts at 3, so we're going to open the doors at 2:30.
3, okay. And you can buy your tickets then, or if you already have your tickets, you just basically turn them in and go
Yep.
find your seat.
Absolutely. So if you have your ticket stubs, walk in, have your ticket torn by our indoor lobby greeters. That's just so we keep account, because it lets us know how many more seats to buy for future events.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you purchase your tickets online, just go in and show your name, and they will have your ticket for you.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, you also got 3 more shows.
The next weekend, same schedule. It's going to be
Okay.
July, what is that?
16th,
16th, 17th, 18th. So Friday,
and a
Saturday,
matinee on
Sunday.
18th.
And Sunday's
Always
the
a matinee on Sunday.
Always, same times.
How fun. How fun.
So-
We can get the tickets at City Market, Big D, online,
Yep.
Rialto Theater,
And at the box office.
Rialto, Historic Rialto Theater.
Yes,
.org. Don't go to
so
com.
key. Yes.
Who knows where you'll end up.
Yeah. And we
All
wanted
right.
to have a big thank you to Tay. He's doing
Yeah.
our sound for us. He's gotten us set up with that. He did our sound for the Fremont County Has Talent. So
And he
thank
was
you,
the
Tay.
MC, yeah,
It's been
so-
great.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know a thing or two about sound, so that's good.
Yeah, a little bit.
It does. He does.
Yeah.
It's helped out a lot.
That is amazing. Well, let's see. I think we've hit all the main points we wanted to
we have.
make.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jennifer, for being here. I really appreciate
wonderful.
you doing that. You know, I
Thank
first
you.
met Jennifer when she walked into my church, because that's where I was holding auditions. She walked in and picked up the leading part and said, "This is what I'm going to do," and went up to the front and tried out. And I went, "Okay." I
Sorry.
don't think I have a choice. But
Sorry.
this is our leading actress.
It was more exuding confidence.
Yeah. But it was a lot of fun.
It
Yeah,
was a lot
that
of
was
fun.
haunted job.
I
and it
hope to
was
be
a
on
lot of
stage
fun.
again, but this behind the scenes has been so much fun.
It is fun, isn't it?
It is. It has been so much fun.
That was the first time I had directed too, so I hear where you're coming from on
excellent.
that being a new experience.
It is. It's great. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. Well, I hope to see you in some productions too, because you are amazing.
Thank you.
I think you have a photographic memory. You're one of those people that reads through the script and then you know everybody else's line also.
I know, and I have to stop saying it under my breath. I do that. I'm like, if they don't say it, I'm like, this is your line.
I know, yes. You did
Yeah,
that
I'm bad
during
at
our
that.
show.
But I think that's the theater in me is just, I
Yeah.
love to do it. So my mind's like, you're going to remember all of this.
Yes. And it's so fun. My gosh, you've got so many people in the cast of this
Yeah.
our town. So we are going to see people we've seen before
And new.
and new. So
new.
Fremont
Very
County
excited
has
about
so
that.
much talent.
I
It's
am.
just amazing.
It is. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for you to meet my cast.
Okay, very good. Well, let's see. What else have we got going on, Tay? What are you doing this weekend?
I'm going to be in a thriving metropolis of McCracken, Kansas.
Oh, that sounds
It's a town the size
fun.
of this building.
Yeah.
It's very small.
Yeah.
But they put on a big rodeo, and the guy wanted me to come out and do
rodeo.
sound. So
What a name for a rodeo town, McCracken.
McCracken, I know. I'm thinking that could be a new series.
I don't know.
Okay.
It could be. It could be Yellowstone South.
I'm thinking McCracken Brides.
There we go.
All right. Thanks for
Thank you for
tuning
having
in
me.
today. Thank you, Jennifer, for being here.
Thanks.
Bye-bye. See you
Bye-bye.
next week.